They changed the intro again?
I did not even look at that because
that intro makes me feel like we should be walking down the street in slow motion, you know.
Yeah.
Like I was getting an error message.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, just when if you get an error message, just click on any spot on the screen and it'll go away. Hi, people.
So, hey, everybody.
Howdy.
Welcome to Wednesday Wham.
Howdy.
Yeah. Well,
Barb, can I ask you a question before we really start? So, everybody, welcome to Wednesday Wham. My name is John Medic. I am doing hosting duties and get to run the show tonight for the first time. Barb set it up beautifully for me, but as I came in, I got some weird message saying that it wasn't streaming on Facebook. Have you ever seen that before?
Yeah, it'll occasionally do that. Yeah.
Okay, so what do I need to do?
So I've heard. I don't have access to all that stuff.
Nothing.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
Pops will have to fix that.
All right, cool. All right, thank the maker. That is awesome. All right, so good evening, everybody. My name is John Medic, and I am going to try to fumble through this Wednesday Wham. Again, thanks to Barb for helping me out ever so much, getting things up and running today. So to my left, my left over here, we have Barb Kailberg. Barb, tell us about you, please.
Oh, my name is Barb Kailberg. I've been an inker for 37 years, a writer and colorist for the last 6. I am the creator of Divinity. I ink some of the stuff at Silverline. I've worked for everybody under the sun, and now I'm also the CFO, which is Chief Financial Officer of Silverline. And I'm way behind. I'm way behind on the books.
You know that accounting stuff.
Yeah, because I also moonlighted in between my comics career as a corporate accountant. So I got roped into this.
As Lord Vader would say, impressive, most impressive. And Rory, Royal Airships. Hey, Rory, long time no see. Says a beautiful and handsome looking group. So
I didn't know I was that beautiful.
Beautiful, Rory. Thank you. Fabulous.
In the eyes of the beholder, I suppose.
So I guess
that everybody that watches this for posterity, that is the first time I ever got to click on a comment and have it appear on the screen.
Yay!
I'm gonna totally nerd out on this. This is gonna be awesome. All right, so to my bottom left on my screen, we have Mr. Rob Davis. Rob, introduce yourself, please.
Well, I'm Rob Davis. I've been a comic book creator since the late 1980s. Do the math. So I've been at this a while.
Here you go.
Yeah, do the math. Working for companies like Malibu, Eternity, Innovation, Marvel, DC, doing characters as ancient as Merlin and as futuristic as the Star Trek crew for the Enterprise, and all kinds of stuff in between. And lately, I've been doing some of my own self-published work, been doing some stuff for Silverline and elsewhere. And latest from Silverline was Twilight Grim. I believe that's going to pop up as a collection of all 4 issues here in what used to be previews, the online, whatever they're calling it now, where you can order your comics.
Everybody say hi to Pops.
So, hey, Pops. So, that leaves only Haley.
Before we get to Haley. And you, Rob, have an admirer. That was disturbing. But we also
Yeah.
have, and Haley, we will not forget you. Do not worry. But popped this one up too. Rob did something for this too. Get your Ozzy tribute book here.
Yes,
So yes, thanks
absolutely.
Pops for telling us about that. Ozzy, what a
Some
wonderful
stuff in that
performer,
book.
gracious person, and so glad that he was able to have that concert experience, while he was still here.
Yes.
Talk about cutting
yes.
it close.
My very first album ever when I was 15 years old was I bought Black Sabbath Paranoid. It's the first album.
Very cool.
Wow.
So, and Pop says thanks. All right. Without any further ado, because we have too much to do, Ms. Haley Martin, thanks for your patience, Haley. Saving the best for last.
That's
right.
Well, my name's Haley. I created an original webcomic called Heroic Shenanigans about superhero summer camp, and I worked on that for many years and finished it up last year. And I've been working with Silverline for several years now. I've done the art for Bear, working on issue 3 of that. And then I also am doing the colors for the Rejects and the Obsoletes, which I'm working on some colors right now. A little preview of that. So, yeah.
Woohoo!
Very cool.
The artist edition for the contributors. Oh, you lucky.
For the Ozzy book.
Yes.
I like.
Yeah, that's going to be very cool.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course you got to sell some. So, yeah. If you're an Ozzy fan, or even if you're a quasi-Ozzy fan, head over and pick up one of those
not
books.
be an Ozzy fan?
I'm not a big fan of all of his work, but I'm an admirer of his stick-to-itiveness, and there's a few of his songs I liked. Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap, I think that's one of his.
That's AC/DC, isn't it?
Is it AC/DC? Well,
yeah,
it's the same genre.
Mama, I'm Coming Home is my all-time favorite Ozzy song,
which I am not as all familiar with. So that shows you I'm not a big Ozzy fan, but I'm a small Ozzy fan. So
I'm an old rock.
I thought he did Dirty Deeds. Okay, I'll have to reassess here.
All right, John.
Reassessing life. Oh my gosh, yes. It's like what? I thought that was true. And everybody.
Well, exactly. I need to be corrected on such things.
My name's John Medic. I do writing, lettering, editing, pre-press work. Sniper and Rook is my main comic, and hopefully I'll be getting issue 2 out. Our head honcho Roland today was asking me what the status on that is, and I was like, I need to talk to the art team. It's been a minute. And by a minute, I mean, well, more than a minute. So hopefully we'll have some updates on that.
A modern minute.
Too much long. We've got a couple more things. Okay. Hey, Pops, it was telling us. So, tribute art book. Over 30 artists. War Pigs was his.
Oh, yes.
I'm assuming that means that was his first album.
That was on Paranoid.
And he likes heavy metal anti-war songs.
Okay.
And I know I definitely, my metal was a little bit older and a little bit later. My first Iron Maiden album I bought, my first heavy metal album was Somewhere in Time. And of course, I love Megadeth, and we've got things like Peace Sells, But Who's Buying? So that's a little bit different than, Pop's sign on that one. There was another, Trooper, Iron Maiden, Run to the Hills. So yeah, those are kind of like the war ones, but they don't really mean it. They're just going for the awesome vibes.
I liked Crazy Town. I was looking here to see what kind of songs.
Crazy Town, yeah, there you go.
Crazy Town, I like that one.
Ozzy.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I don't know that one.
I'd had to dig deeper.
Well, if you heard it, you'd know it.
Crazy Town or Crazy Train?
Crazy Train.
Train,
Crazy
okay.
Train. Did I say Town?
When you said Crazy Town, what I had going through my head was
I thought
he said Funky
right
Town, and I know
it's like a mashup of those two.
I thought he said Crazy Train.
I think Ozzy would like start on fire if he was singing like Lips Incorporated songs. So
I I played drums in high school, and I had a complete set, a drum set, and I learned how to play rock by listening to Iron Butterfly in Agata Davida. I played that in my
Nice.
Agata Davida.
A
My
15-minute long song took up a whole side of an album.
Yeah.
If
my
anybody
best
doesn't
friend
know
in
what
high
that is.
school, guy named Russ. His parents were awesome as well, and they had all their original Iron Butterfly albums. Awesome record collection, and so he was raised very, very well. Pops was talking about the In the Garden of Eden, which is
that was in Agata
translation to
Davida.
Inagata Davida. Yes.
Yeah.
I think that comes from the Vikings or something. Yeah, the translation. And he believes that the Simpsons version rocked as well. I've not heard that one. So anybody that knows anything about me, if there's a topic that I get to talk about at that night, I usually put together a what, folks?
PowerPoint.
PowerPoint. Yes, although these days I am not kissing the butt of the Microsoft gods, and I have been using the LibreOffice. Pops told me to look it up, and yeah, I'll look it up tonight. Thanks, Pops. I'll definitely check that out. So yeah, I am using the LibreOffice. So let me see if I will be able to share that screen properly. And window. Can you guys see the screen?
Not yet.
I can see it. You need to add to stage.
Okay.
See? You're learning.
This is how you learn.
Yeah, you
On the job training.
Hover your pointer over it, and it'll say add to stage. Did he freeze? Oh my God.
I think he did.
Uh-oh.
I think he did.
With his mouth open.
Go back on.
Oh, John! Oh. In the meantime, here's our entertainment. Bobblehead Stark. That's right. Media and comic books is our topic tonight. That's why I gathered my bobblehead Stark, because there's a message from him. Chrome crash.
Chrome crash. Yeah, okay.
Be right
Libre
there.
and Chrome are probably not real friendly. Who knows?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
What? What, Pops? Barb. You said it three times. I'm in trouble.
Barbarian. Okay.
Oh, he wants me to add it. Well, John is learning the ins and outs of the admin. That's why I'm helping him out, Pops.
Make him jump through the hoops so he can learn how to jump through the hoops.
Yeah, but everything he did disappeared because he said his Chrome crashed. So I'm going to ask you what you are currently working on for Silverline, Rob, while we wait for John to get back in.
At the moment, nothing.
What?
I'm waiting for a script.
Ooh,
Still.
But you're expecting one.
Well, I expected one like a while ago, but it hasn't shown up yet. So. But I've been working on my self-published book with Ron Fortier called Boston Bombers. In the meantime, keeping busy with that. And
there's a sneak. Hang on just a second.
What have you got there?
That is Divinity number 5. It doesn't come through very well on the screen, but
you've been coloring it.
Yes, I'm almost done coloring it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Now, Boston Bombers. What did you say about that?
I turned around and saw my face. Yeah, this is the latest page of that.
Oh, that is so sweet looking.
And yeah, and I eventually recently did a book about our Airship 27 character Brother Bones. Rather violent character. That's probably the least violent page. and then we got a guy getting shot in the forehead. But yeah, I've been keeping busy, illustrating stuff for Airship 27. So,
Are you back,
Are you back, John?
Yay!
Chrome crashed.
Okay.
I
Do
said
you want me to
anything
add
about
that to this?
Microsoft. I didn't say anything about Edge. Why did Chrome crash on me? So, but yeah, Pops, I see your notes. Yeah, Roland hooked me up and got me in, and let's try this again. 2.0.
Do you want me to add it to the stage?
I think I should be okay. Okay, where to go to add? Just share screen, right?
Yeah. Present or invite, and then when you see it, hover your pointer over it and say.
And it should have a little drop down. Does it get a drop down? I don't know.
It's right over there.
All right.
Sorry,
So
folks.
I do the normal share screen, right?
Yep. Do the normal share screen.
And then I choose the one that I want. Everybody, you get to see the behind the scenes. We make it look so easy, and by we, I mean Barb. Barb makes it look so easy all the time. But, yeah, she is awesome. Okay, so now I click on share.
Yeah. Now it says add to stage. You hover your pointer over the top of that and say add to stage.
Okay. I don't have that.
Oh, I will. How about that?
Thank you.
Ta-da!
Appreciate it. All right. So we're going to be talking a little bit today about, the interrelatedness of media and comic books and media and comic books and media and comics, because books wouldn't fit on there again. And Tony's here. Mr. Stark, good to see you. And actually, Barb, you'll probably want to bring him back in about 8 slides or so. Actually, more, probably about 12 slides. But, what I'd like for us to do today is have an academic look, meaning it's fair use to use images and graphics, an academic look into the interdependent. Oh, what do we got down there?
Spider-Man?
No, that's Iron Man. He's butt kissing. He's got Iron Man.
Oh, that is Iron Man.
Oh, you had Tony Stark. I thought we'd bring along his bodyguard.
Very nice. All right. So, okay. So let's see. How do we? So if I go and just click, how do I zoom in on somebody? Let's see.
You see the Haley!
I was like, okay, who am I going to go for? All right, let's see. And a full screen layout, we don't want that for that. And Barb, how do we?
You've created a Frankenstein here. He's got all this power now.
Oh, I'm having fun now. Look what I can do.
Boy, you were just...
that's
dun dun
cool.
Dun.
You're just playing around now.
Any K-pop Demon Hunter fans? Like, this is how it's done. All right. It's me and US Agent hanging out. So yeah.
Rory wants to know, do you find it difficult to draw in a different style? Do you find your style and settle into it, or can you draw in a multitude of styles and designs? I'm going to answer just for me. When I draw, my drawing is very cartoonish, so that's why I never became a penciler. But I can ink in a multitude of styles. I have had editors say, "Can you ink like Image?" Yeah, sure, no problem. Can you ink real old school, big, thick brush lines? That's my favorite. You bet. I can ink in any style that you want. But I can't pencil in any style. No.
Is there a style that you prefer inking? Is there one that like really? And you could do them all. And I've seen the vast different type of pencilers you worked over. So, and you've worked over so many different styles. Is there one that really kind of gels with you the best?
I prefer a more straightforward style with nice chunky blacks.
Okay.
It's just, I like it better. It's easier too. But I don't know. There's something clean. I like a clean style.
So you like the not a lot of scratchy stuff. Just
right.
A real
I can do the scratchy stuff just fine, but
I call it the KISS style. Keep it simple, stupid. Don't go crazy with all the catching and stuff. It's less is more is another way to say it as well. That's my preferred way of working. But I occasionally I'll run through a period where I like to add a lot of noodling on the side
Noodly?
too. But noodly, as I call
Noodly
it,
bits?
all the little scratchy stuff that adds on. When it's done well, it adds shape to the forms. When it's done poorly, it flattens everything out. So it depends on the artist and the inker together. Now, as for different styles, I have about 3 different styles that I hit that I'm able to do. I have a cartoony style that's real loose and simple, and then I have a middle ground, more superhero-ish Bronze Age feel to it, and then a more realistic style, which I use more often than any other. But yeah, as for imitating someone else's style, I'd have to study it really hard in order to do that. I was asked to do that at one point in the 90s, and I went, I have my own style. Why do you want me to imitate somebody else? So, but that's some artists are very good at doing that. I'm not one of those. I'd have to work hard to do it.
You're not the first one I've heard from that was requested to do such things in the 90s. Yeah, there were the predominant style.
They wanted everyone to draw the image in the image style, and I'm going, well, you've got, if you want the image style, hire one of the image guys to do the work. Why do you want me to do it?
Yeah, well, other than the fact that they walked into Marvel and DC offices and said, we're never working for you again.
Well, that's one of them. Yeah, and plus they could get me cheaper than they can get the image guys.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
I guess, yeah.
Okay, we're going to see if this works. So, Barb, I may need you to bail me out again. So, I'm going to go onto the PowerPoint screen, and I'm going to tell it to go next. Yes, okay, good, it worked. I didn't get
this. Got it now, man.
All right.
This has been an exciting evening for you.
Yeah, it is. This is so cool. So as we're talking about like media, what kind of media? I want to talk about all kinds, and just because I have this stuff set up on a PowerPoint, anybody who's watching at home or watching at work, because it's a downtime, that's cool. If you're watching and you're driving, please don't do that. You could listen to us, but don't watch. Car crashes are bad. But anybody else that's around, feel free to throw things in the chat. Barb's been tossing some stuff up. Pops has been tossing stuff up. I can do it too. We would love to hear from the folks that are out there as well. But kind of just taking a look at some of the interconnectedness and whys and hows of comics with other media. So what are we going to take a look at? Motion pictures, also known as movies, films, flicks, whatever.
Cinema.
Yes. Cinema. I like that. Television programming, so there have been some comics that have been made based on some very interesting television shows that I would never have expected. Written texts, aka these things called books, like without pictures. I don't know what these things are. I don't think they're going to catch on. I mean,
although some books do have pictures. I know the ones I do for Airship 27 have pictures in them.
Are we talking about literature?
There are books that don't have pictures. I mean, I don't understand.
Yes.
I like,
but they translate. They translate well into media.
Yeah. So I didn't get a chance to put any of those on the slide, but I was going to pull up Hitchhiker's Guide to.
It's Snape. No, this is Snape.
Oh my God!
See,
I've never watched those.
Or his room, I guess.
John Medic. I've never watched the.
Long story. Toys, yes, I'm including toys with media. We'll talk about that today. Radio shows, I'm not that well knowledgeable in, but some folks might, and that would be awesome. Animation, I kind of pulled some of that in with television programming, but I'm hoping Haley might have a bunch of info on that with the manga and maybe anime or something, things that I'm not so knowledgeable about. And there's lots of other things we could discuss too, but I know I'm supposed to keep it.
We may
to
not
a-
get to all of this. So there's a
we
lot
might
to
not.
cover on all that.
Well, but Rory is asking questions tonight, and this is good.
That's good. We like
So,
that.
Rory's new question to everyone: if you could make an entire comic or graphic novel in an Art Deco or Art Nouveau, not Club Nouveau, which was a very awesome 80s band style. My brain is crazy. It works like weird stuff. Which would you pick, and what story would it be?
Watership Down.
Metropolis.
Barb, that'd be kind of cool.
That would be cool.
What did you say?
Watership
She
Down.
said Watership Down. That would be fun in Art Nouveau.
Mm-hmm. Think of all that. I mean, especially when what's the main rabbit's name again? I can't remember his name. When he's having these visions and dreams, make that into the Art
Ooh.
Deco. Oh yeah, that would be.
That would be fun. Yeah.
That's kind of cool. I like that.
Yeah.
That's neat. So Rob, you said, yeah, we might not get through these. We might not. If not, guess what? We
A
have a part
perfect
two.
fit would be Metropolis, the science fiction film.
Oh, that would be.
You know, because
Was
there's already
Metropolis silent?
Yes, it was a
I thought
silent film. Yes, but it was probably the most influential science fiction film of all time because it was one of the first that treated it seriously.
And of course, you know, the Batman animated series. Yes, I know I'm skipping decades ahead. You know, that one was very dark Art Deco, based on the Fleischman Superman look to some degree. They were definitely homaging that intentionally, and yeah, it was great. That was the Batman cartoon from my generation. So, you know, let's go ahead and let's take a look at movies. So a couple weeks ago, we had an episode, and if you out there have not watched that one, go ahead and please watch that. We talked about some movies that were based on comics. So we're kind of looking at the flip on that. It's like, so we had movies, now we do comic versions of them. Why do we do that? Why do they do those? Okay, first of all, cash grab, duh. All right. You know, it's already got a built-in fan base.
There you go.
So they got people who are probably going to buy the product because they already are familiar with the film. Or they're trying to get an extension of the fan base. They're like, okay, well, we've made money on, sorry about that, my glasses were slipping. We've made money on the films. What else can we do to keep this gravy train rolling? They often do that. Adapting the story and, you know, told on film in comic form is one of the things that they've done. But also, oftentimes, they'll expand upon the movie world and tell additional tales. And there's a couple different ways that that's happened, and I've got some examples for that tonight too. And as we go through and as I throw up some of these examples, if anybody has some that they want to chat about too, please let me know. I pulled up some well-known ones. I also pulled up some bizarre ones.
Well, it used to be that when you had a movie, it was in the theater for a short period of time. But if you were a fan of it, you would go, well, you know, I would like to see more of this. But it's not going to show up again. It's not like you could go down to the corner store and rent the movie and take it home and watch it again like you can now. Or pull it down, stream it from anywhere on the internet. Back in the day, and that's why a lot of these things came in is because you had fans of the stuff, but they couldn't go see the movie. They couldn't see the TV show again because it only ran once, maybe twice in a year. So that's why comics, which coming out every month, could fill that empty spot in the fans' appetite for more.
Which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
You know, in the 70s, Marvel had this thing for their tabloid size. Did they call it tabloid? They called it something else.
It's tabloid size. Yeah, 11 by 17.
Yeah. So there were large
tabloid.
Star Wars adaptation. Haley brought up something a couple weeks back when we were talking about intercompany crossovers, and you had said about like the 50th anniversary of the first Marvel DC crossover, and we're like, that was actually Wizard of Oz. So I wanted to make sure we had that on there. So this is one of the examples. Bless you, Barb. One of the examples of Wizard of Oz was an adaptation, but then they went into the Land of Oz and told additional stories based upon the Wizard of Oz world. Star Wars was definitely a direct adaptation from the original movie, and Rob was right. Not every movie was like Star Wars. Star Wars, you do know, was in theaters for over a year, which is really, really cool.
Wow.
Never left. Yeah. One of the most expensive Star Wars posters
but
out
not
there.
everywhere. It wasn't everywhere like that. There were plenty of places that didn't. The theater went on to the next film, or they only had one screen.
True. Some of those.
So they had to move on to the next movie in the line.
One of the things that Fox did do, because it was 20th Century Fox that put it out, they actually did send out a poster. All of them are folded, and it's one of my favorite ones. It's a birthday cake, and it's surrounded by the 12 original action figures, and it says, "Happy birthday, Star Wars 1 year old today." And it was sent to all of the theaters that were still showing the original Star Wars.
Wow.
Very rare. You can find repros of it. I had a repro that was hanging in my office at one of my jobs. Really, really cool poster. Look it up if you haven't seen it before. So, one of the other cool things is alternate realities. So these books, when they time it to coincide with movies coming out, like that adaptation, and we talked last week when we were talking about like Batman and Batman 89, and we had like the Batman comic adaptation that was on the shelf when the book came out. Things change because the books have to be written, they have to be drawn, they have to be printed, they have to be distributed. When the art teams and the writing teams are working on actually doing the comic adaptation, they're working on non-finished movie stuff. So with stuff that gets left on the cutting room floor, sometimes made it into the comics. So this was one of the really cool things about the Star Wars one. Biggs Darklighter. It was a huge character in Luke's life, one of his best friends. He does show up a little bit in Star Wars: A New Hope, but he's not there too much. But guess what? He's in the adaptation in
the
big
longer scene with him.
actually
shot,
on
but it
Tatooine,
wasn't used.
and you could find the deleted scenes out there. But as a kid, as I'm reading this, I'm like, okay, that scene wasn't in the movie, but in my brain, I've always kind of melded the two. So to me, it's always been there because of the adaptations from the comics, which is really, really cool. So that's kind of like one nice little thing that we do get. Sometimes we get things that don't make it into the theater, but we still get to experience it.
We did that. I did a ton of licensed properties, just like Rob has. I did them for Innovation and Now Comics. And we did Lost in Space. So what they did at Innovation was they advanced everybody like 5 years so that they could make the girls older and bustier.
Yeah.
You say that's a bad thing.
Well,
Rory would still say Rob is the most beautiful, though. Don't worry.
That's a long story, but anyway. So they told a bunch of stories about the Lost in Space universe, because they had the license for that, and they could expand on the universe in that way. They just jumped ahead for 5 years, and basically everything else. I mean, all the characters. Yeah, well,
really,
not exactly.
No continuity errors.
The next decade, yeah.
That's right. No continuity errors, and all the girls wore 5-inch heels. So
you say that as if that's a bad thing.
In space, when they're lost, they're stranded on a planet. Where did they get the 5-inch heels?
Okay, but we could tie that to Alien.
They can wear anything, but
we could tie that to Alien so well, okay? Because 5-inch heels, I hear hurt really, really bad. Or you may fall down because you're wearing 5-inch heels. And wasn't it Alien that taught us in space no one could hear you scream?
That's right. I've worn 5-inch heels many decades ago, and yes, they hurt. They are a form of torture. I don't know why.
Before I go to the next slide, I do want to say Matthew out there says hi. Hello, Matthew.
Hey, Matthew.
Thanks for being with us tonight. So, up, and I've got the wrong screen. Okay, there we go. Right screen. All right. So, one of the
Ted's
other.
excellent.
What's that?
It's a Bill and Ted.
Why is this all? Why can't I
You
not
jumped.
alt tab tonight?
You jumped ahead there, didn't you?
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't know why. Yeah, and I can't-
Sliders. Does that have my name on it?
I don't know. Let's see. Okay, did that screen go away?
Yes,
Yeah.
Because
All right.
I did sliders.
he's still learning.
you
folks.
really?
Hang in there.
All right, I am going to pull that back up. All right, slideshow from the first slide. No, I don't want that. All right. So anybody who's like computer knowledgeable, you know that you should be able to hit Alt and Tab and switch between windows. It's very, very useful, especially when you're at work and you're watching YouTube and you're supposed to be working on an Excel project and you hold down Alt and Tab and boss comes by, oh, it's Excel. They go away and you're back on YouTube. I don't know
Here you
why
have to
my-
click.
Not Alt tabbing.
So, all right, while you're doing that, I'll
I'm
tell
gonna
you a
lock my
funny
taskbar.
story.
Hold on. All right, go ahead, Barb.
I'll tell you a funny story about what you were just talking about. Lawnmower Man was a big hit in the theaters, and
That was one of my first dates.
yeah,
Ooh.
and Innovation got the license for it, and we got Stuart Monin was the penciler. I was the inker.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah, gorgeous stuff. I mean, he
I'll
had Pierce
bet.
Brosnan
I
down
will
to
bet.
a T. It was some of the most beautiful work that I've ever done in my life. And it got lettered, it got colored, and just before it went to press, Stephen King called his lawyers and had him kill the project because he hated the movie adaptation of Lawnmower Man. So he was not going to let the movie it was a movie adaptation, or it was a comic book adaptation of the movie.
Yeah.
Somewhere or other, David Campetti has got all the pages of a 60-page graphic novel by Stuart Monin and me.
Wow.
I still have some Xerox copies around here somewhere.
And it's not seen the light of day, huh?
Never saw the light of day.
And we probably can't because the licenses that until Stephen King passes away and maybe his estate wants to do something like that. But boy, it was completely done.
It was completely done, ready to
Penciled,
go.
inked, lettered,
Mhm.
colored,
Mhm.
ready to go, and they yanked the rug out from under it.
Yep.
Wow.
Sure did.
I've
That's
never been.
crazy.
I've had the rug yanked out from under me, but not that late in the game.
Props to Innovation. They
Man.
paid everybody.
Well,
Even though-
yeah, that's the thing about working for Dave. You didn't get this not following up on promises. If he made you a promise, he followed up. So
Yeah.
he was definitely one of the good guys. Still is.
Okay, John, you ready?
All right, I am trying. I'm
You want me
desperate.
to edit the stage?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Here we
There
go.
it is.
I would appreciate that.
There.
All right.
Oh my goodness.
So, yep. So, one of the other reasons they do this is to expand that world and continue the story. So, things such as, Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, that one actually was more of an adaptation. Adventures of Ford Fairlane, one of the all-time greatest films, starring Andrew Dice Clay. This was not an adaptation. It was almost a...
Personally, I thought the comic was better than the movie, but
Really? Oh my God, I love that movie. I quote that movie all the time. I think I'm like one of 4 people in the world.
I'm not a big Andrew Dice Clay fan.
I was never a big
love
Andrew
that
Dice Clay
film.
fan.
And Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Evan Dorkin worked on that, and Bill and Ted was a whole lot of fun. So those were some of them that expanded the world a little bit with the coming from the movies. So let me see if I can get to the next one without crashing. All right. Do we have one that says, let's look at television?
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Yep.
And why did we do it? Whoops. Oh, I know. Supernatural.
That's right. There's been
Supernatural.
Supernatural comic books, and there's another one coming out this fall.
Oh God, let me see.
So I had to throw that in. My little supernatural car, my Impala.
I have just one book, but there's a bunch of Avatar: The Last Airbender comics based on that show, which I love. It's Guru Hiro, I think, is the artist or artists. I love the art, but some of the I felt like in the first couple, like the characters were kind of written out of character, so that was kind of over. But it is like continuing the story after the show ended, so that's interesting. And it's on Webtoons now, which is cool. People
Yeah.
can read it.
I'm actually I'm just reading or watching that on Netflix. Is it?
I think so. Yeah.
All right, you're having issues.
Uncle Iroh.
Story of my life. Okay, so I'm gonna do something different. I hate when people do this, when I actually see people present in real life and they actually don't have
Whoops.
the
I don't
screen
want
set up and that you could actually see the slides to the side. I hate it, but hopefully maybe this will make me not crash. Let's try this. So Barb, look what I just was able to do.
Oh, you're learning fast.
Look at me doing like my best Breakfast Club. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So, all right. We talked a little bit about looking at television. We talked about adapting some stuff. And so, okay. So, oh yeah. Okay. We did. So let's look at television. So movies made sense, but TV, why? Again, cash grab, copy and paste. Built-in fan base, same thing. Adapting the story, told on the small, to a comic form, expanding on, that should say comic world.
Well, everybody,
You guys must be on the fly now.
everybody that gets really super into a movie or a TV show is going to be hungry for more stories in that, because let's face it, like especially a movie, it only lasts 2 hours and then you're done.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. And then you're done, and you've just gotten your whistle wet or whatever, for that. And then all of a sudden it's done and over with, and you're like, I want more. And that, you're right, built-in fan base, and a rabid one at that.
And you know what? Talking about rabid fan bases, I definitely have a couple of those in here. We got some rabid stuff going on there. What, Rob? I can't see it because of the glare.
Which one is that? Oh, that's the Green Hornet.
Green Hornet,
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep. The model. I've got several models here from different shows. I got the Batmobile too, but it's buried under some others. I don't want to have to. I want an avalanche to happen.
And one of them that I have on here. So we were talking about, providing opportunities to resurrect canceled TV shows to be able to conclude the story properly or continue it with additional seasons. So talking about rabid fan bases, that is right here. The first one up, one of my all-time favorite TV shows, Jericho. It ran for a season. It got canceled by CBS. And then there was a campaign. There was a reference to like nuts, and like peanuts, in one of the episodes that dealt with a military thing. And so people started mailing nuts to CBS saying, we want our show back. And they brought Jericho back for a second season. And it was on the bubble again, and it didn't make it. But if you take a look here, we've got season 3, season 4, because season 2 ended on a cliffhanger. Huge cliffhanger. Second, United States Civil War. And so we were able to get season 3, season 4 through comics and even more. Buffy. I have not watched my Buffy discs yet. I've got 7 seasons of them to watch. But guess what? They picked it up and started with season 8 in comic form. Barb, Sliders. Sliders is one of my all-time favorite shows. At least the first 2 seasons before it got really, really bad. You said you worked on Sliders?
A few issues, yeah. I don't think either one of those, but yes.
That
with Rags Morales.
Max Morales.
Oh, very cool. Oh, that's awesome. There are some out there that make me just go, WTF. And the F, of course, means fudge because Roland would fire me otherwise. Or seriously, what the fired? The Man from Atlantis. Why the Man from Atlantis got a TV show? I don't know.
Well, again, it was probably one of those occasions where they thought this was going to be a great show, and it turned out to be a so-so show. And
Bobby
you know,
Ewing.
yeah,
I was like, somebody likes
Yeah.
Patrick Duffy.
Yeah. and the
Somebody
show,
had to like
the
Patrick
show had
Duffy, I
its
guess.
moments. The show had its
Yeah,
good moments.
but
And
yeah, so that
but
one,
it was a perfect fit with comics. So it was.
I
that
always
kind of-
thought that was amusing.
superhero-ish type of thing. So, I think I have some of those in my collection too.
The Man from Atlantis.
Yeah, I'd have
You know,
I'd have to dig through and see, but I think I have a couple of those at least.
It
was okay.
You know, talking about animation. So back in the day when I was a kid, Battle of the Planets, one of the greatest cartoons of all time, based upon a Japanese cartoon show from the early 70s that came out before I was born called Gotcha Man. Whitman put out several issues in the 70s that you could see all the way over to the left. And then it was relaunched at Image, series of great covers by Alex Ross, but also all, really some great artist work on those too. That's a Mark Silvestri cover there. And guess what? Now, just like Eminem, yes, it's back again. Gotcha Man's back under the original name. And it's, who is doing that now? Not Mad Cow, Mad Dog?
Mad Dog Studios?
Yeah, I think so.
Can't tell.
Mad Cave.
Mad Cave.
Mad Cave. Yeah. There's so many mad
Mad
companies
Cave.
out there. That,
I could zoom in, but I can't. But when I did, it got fuzzy, so I couldn't read it.
So, that was really great for them to be able to take, that and bring it back for new generations to see. I really, I dug all of those. We've talked before about my love for Battlestar Galactica.
No.
Everything. Yeah, I know, right? From, again, I had to go with that huge treasury size that Marvel loved putting out in the 70s to the regular comics to when Rob Liefeld brought it back.
I was just going to say, is that a Rob Liefeld cover?
Why, yes, it is.
Well,
And,
everybody's
look at all those constipated faces.
I was just going to say.
Liefeld.
Oh, no. We don't say that about the Rob. I love the Rob. My favorite artist since I first saw his work.
I was Rob before he was. So.
And I will go out on a limb and
Everybody
I will say that there was well, yeah, okay, so the Cylons nuked all the colonies and you only have a handful of people left, in like the universe. I think they'd be a little grumpy.
It's a great concept.
But you know what? Richard Hatch, the guy who played Apollo in the original Galactica, was trying to resurrect the property many times. Unfortunately, didn't get traction. Even financed his own pilot version of a film, and it didn't happen. I honestly do not think that our Galactica 2003-2004 would have really had possibly as much of an opportunity to come back if the property was as dormant as it was before it was back in comic form. So I really think that, Rob bringing that back might have helped grease some of those wheels later on. And my wife and I are now in season 3 of the Galactica 2003. And now Dynamite's putting it out, so back in the 90s and now back again too. So yay, Galactica. Let's see what else. A-Team had
I never missed an episode. Never missed an episode of A-Team.
One of them, and so like I said, I didn't get everything I want to do with my PowerPoint. Toys. Okay. Toys. Who cares? All right. Yeah, I know I'm totally stretching the idea of considering toys to be a form of media, but I'm hosting tonight, so I can add toys if I want. Why? To sell more toys, obviously. And really, it's brilliant because people have to be invested in a toy line for it to continue. And look at that. We've got Iron Man. And then we got Rob walking away to go get something. And Rory, in case you're out there, there's Rob's butt. Okay. Oh, Harley. All right.
Harley. We always, yeah.
And
Oh boy.
Haley, you got a toy? You want to show a toy?
I've got Uncle Iroh from Avatar: The Last
all
Airbender.
right.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he was. I found him at Walmart, and he was like on clearance for $5, and it was the only Avatar thing there. I was like,
You
I need to
can't
take
leave him.
home. And
Yeah.
he's good. I think it was from McFarlane Toys, so he's like legit.
Probably very accurate. McFarlane did some
Yeah,
great,
he's got
great representations of
stuff.
different
Yeah,
stuff.
you guys
So,
have all
And I've
seen
got-
my bobblehead many times
And
already.
I also
Rob, you want to fight? Bam, bam, bam.
Boys will be boys.
I lost the
Oh,
shield
God,
somewhere.
Batgirl,
I don't
Funko.
know what happened to Cap.
Oh,
Batgirl.
Yeah,
What-
yeah.
what-
I don't think she. Oh, it's her
Oh,
kind
Batgirl.
of turns. Yeah, but
Cool.
the other Barb.
Grown people playing with toys.
I was
Yeah,
just
I
gonna
know.
say, and we're all supposed to be adults, and
Uh-huh.
this is awesome. This is very cool. All right, so the more invested you are in a toy line, the more you'll buy, the longer the toy line will live, the more money is made. And some of the toy lines, you might be surprised whose backstories were created and founded in comics themselves.
Yes.
G.I. Joe.
I was
So
just gonna say G.I. Joe.
Hasbro, wanted to relaunch the G.I. Joe intellectual property. They did that in '82 with a real American hero line, but they didn't really have an idea. It's like, okay, what are we gonna do with it? And they went to Marvel and they're like, what can you do? And Larry Hama was brought in. Larry Hama had already plotted out an idea that he was trying to get traction on of like it was called Fury Force with Nick Fury. And he kind of took the ideas that he had from that and adapted characters. And he wrote G.I. Joe all the way from issue 1 to 155 with Marvel. And then he came back later with IDW. And now that G.I. Joe's with Skybound, he's back writing it there too. So, I mean, he has been writing, and there's been other writers in other series too. But yeah, he's still with that. And obviously,
He's the through line. He's the through line. Yep. Plus, he's the one that he gave them their world. He gave them the G.I. Joe world. Yeah.
I'm gonna see if I could grab something real quick. This was
Well, look at Transformers. I mean,
Yeah.
Transformers. The toys, Transformer toys are like huge. They've been like that for years and years. And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles too. Yes, Transformers.
Yep, and TMNT started in the comics.
Yep.
Similar to shucks, hold on. I gotta find him.
You're supposed to have this stuff lined up ahead of time, kiddo.
But anyway, all right. So G.I. Joe. So Larry also wrote on the back of the characters the file cards. So everybody had a card that told you about their name, their specialty. That's why as a 10-year-old, I knew that Snake Eyes was expert.
Oh, that's right. In the back of the
all
book, they had those. Yeah, they had those. Cards.
NATO
Yeah.
and Warsaw Pact small arms. And that's how I knew what the Warsaw Pact was when I was 10 years old. I bet a lot of people don't even know what that is, and they're adults now. But so it's like I learned cool stuff. And yes, Barb, you're absolutely right. Now, if you guys can tell, just like I like the ninjas with G.I. Joe, here Soundwave is my favorite. When Takara started doing the Transformers line, they actually didn't get the whole idea of transforming robots on their own. Some of those things, Tommy, will catch you up in a minute.
It's a Florman flyby.
Some of these were already
Media and
in
comics,
existence. And so they needed somebody to pull all the stuff together and like, okay, what do we actually do with these? What's it all about? And they went to Marvel. And then Marvel did work with Sunbow to make the G.I. Joe cartoon and the Transformers cartoon, but everything that was created was founded in the comics, which was really, really cool. And then the last slide I'm going to have for today, ROM.
Yeah,
ROM
I was.
more than memory chips.
I'm glad you brought that one up because if you hadn't, I was going to. 'Cause
ROM.
Yeah.
What was that? Hasbro or Mattel? I don't remember which. I never had him.
I don't either.
a toy in the 70s, and then he got his own Marvel comic, and now he's actually got a new figure out under the Marvel Legends line, which I may or may not have one of in the front room. Don't tell my wife about an action figure.
I don't even know what ROM is.
It was a toy that lit up and didn't really have any sort of backstory.
Okay.
And
Right.
Marvel
Exactly.
took it and ran with it.
Who
The
started
things that
that?
we got
Who was the writer?
from Tommy saying, "Love me a John PowerPoint or PowerPoint," and me love a Tommy mistyping.
Yep, it is a poor point. No, just kidding.
Well, I've had some really poor luck with my PowerPoint tonight, so I guess it does work. I had a ROM. I thought it was so cool. Yeah, Tommy, I'm jealous. I never did. But the whole idea of the microverse from Marvel came. No, that wasn't from there. That was from Micronauts. Never mind.
Yep.
That was a different one. That didn't make it into a slide though. So with that being said, that's what I've got in my PowerPoint. Who has other things they want to put out and talk about?
No, ROM was the last one that I had thought of that was right in that, because I knew the whole story about how they created the action figure with no idea what it was, and then the comic book filled in all those empty spaces that there were in its background and what it was, and gave it life.
And
Barb, you're looking contemplative there.
I spent several years with Marvel on Barbie.
I was going to pull things in from the Star line, which had a Barbie comic before the 90s Barbie. I didn't get to those. What can you tell us about the Barbie stuff, Barb?
Mattel was extremely protective of Barbie. It sold very well to little girls, and there was, for years, I was very resentful that Marvel only gave me girl things like Barbie, Gargoyles, the occasional She-Hulk, But I got over that many years later, and I'll tell you why. But first of all, Mattel was extremely protective, so they would have to look over every single page that we did, and they would say, Barbie's only got 3 eyelashes.
With a microscope,
Yes. You got to take this eyelash out. She only has 3 eyelashes. Barbie never frowns. Can't have a frown. But it's a sad story. I don't care. She doesn't frown. Okay. But it was a popular series, and it wasn't until years later that I dug out all my old comp copies when I started doing shows again. And I had a bunch of comp copies left over. That was back in the good old days in the 90s when you got like 50 comp copies of everything you ever did.
Yeah.
And I was just stunned at how they flew off of my table at shows.
I bet they did.
Little girls were just buying them. Their parents were buying them for the little girls just right and left, and they were so happy to have them. And it was only then that I realized that my legacy for working on Barbie, the girl stuff for Marvel, was that for a lot of little girls, that Barbie comic book was their introduction to comics. Mm-hmm. So I don't think that's a bad legacy to leave.
Not at all.
Mm-hmm.
And you did a lot of those with a friend of mine, Anna Maria Cool. So she still does Barbie stuff at conventions.
I did Barbie and Barbie fashion for Marvel.
And actually, that one was me that just popped that one up. So I was like, and so I remember that was polybagged, just like some of the other ones too. And I've got a couple of those in my collection somewhere from back in the day too, I think.
Because they were polybagged with some of the other stuff you were wanting. Because they would take.
It was a number one. I got most number ones.
Wow. So.
Well, we are at the top of the hour. You managed to fill the hour.
Thanks. Yeah. And since we did have some glitches tech-wise today, I apologize.
There were some stumbles, but that's it.
We all learn, and trust me, Pops has had to rescue me a few times on this,
and I appreciate it. So we've got 20 viewers right now. Thank you to every one of you 20. We really appreciate it.
24 viewers.
What's that?
Ooh,
You have 24
24. Went to
Including us?
24.
Does that count? Yes.
Yeah, I see 24 on mine.
Really? Mine says 20. Oh, cool.
I guess 4 people are just watching me.
Well, yeah, or Rob, because he is the most beautifulest.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right.
For Rory. I'm never going to let Rory live that one down. All right. Well, everybody, we are at the top of the hour, and I do want to be very cognizant of everybody's time and not get fired on my first night out. Before we do our wrap up for the night, I want to say a special thanks to Barb. Barb, thanks for saving my ass collectively many times today. So thank you.
No problem.
I
Round
appreciate
of
it.
applause. There we go.
But yes, so and as we are
You're welcome.
leaving, we have with us just names again.
Oh, Barb,
And
Haley.
Haley,
and Rob.
Rob.
I am John. Thank you for being with us tonight. And I need to find where my bracelet went, but something that we like to do as we are closing out the show every time is everyone make mine Silverline.
Silverline.
Thanks
You
for being
gotta
with us.
hit end stream.
Hi, I'm Dave Dorman. Make mine Silverline.